Council tax, the grift that keeps on taking and taking and taking. Ah yes, council tax, that sweet little invoice that drops through your letterbox like an unwanted Christmas card from people you never invited, asking for money you don't have, for services they don't provide or you rarely use, managed by people you didn't vote for. Let's be honest, it's not a bill, it's a tradition, like a long-standing British custom of paying under duress to avoid the council sending someone to aggressively catalogue your cutlery. Often you have wondered, is council tax even lawful? Spoiler alert, we are asking the same thing too. We begin our documentary journey through democratic tax bliss with that daring question no one dares to ask at the town hall coffee meeting: is council tax even lawful? Ask anyone at the local council tax department and they will cite the Local Government Finance Act 1992 says yes, but your common sense says no, and your purse says please stop. But let's not be so dramatic. This isn't a robbery, it's legally sanctioned extortion. You see, your local council is merely the polite middleman between HMRC, the Valuation Office Agency, and your increasingly depleted bank account. And of course you're being charged based on something called a banded dwelling, determined by a mystical document from 1991, back when people still used fax machines and thought £1.20 was expensive for a gallon of petrol. But let us not forget that yearly increase of whatever councils decide they want to impose, 5%, 10%, 50%, maybe even doubling it with 100%. Wow. Get the councils and the power that they have to inflict financial catastrophe on whoever they wish. And let us also remember a proud heritage of pain. Remember, before the Local Government Finance Act 1992 graced us with its generosity, there was that 1988 poll tax, Margaret Thatcher's proud contribution to national unity and rights, and she was handsomely rewarded with a promotion to the House of Lords. Before that, we had the 1967 General Rate Act, which has never really gone away. It's just been subsumed here and there. And before that, the Poor Laws of 1601, because when it comes to taxing your existence, Britain has always been innovative and loves to recycle. Ah, so quaint. Council tax isn't just a modern burden, it's a rich tapestry of bureaucratic torment. And let's remember human rights. We can't forget those. We have those. Don't be ridiculous. You might be thinking, wait, don't I have human rights? Oh, God bless you. You still believe in bedtime stories. Let us take a peek. Protocol 1, Article 1 of the European Convention on Human Rights says you're entitled to peaceful enjoyment of your possessions, unless, of course, your council wants them. Then your toaster, your car, and possibly your sanity become fair game. And what about Article 6? That gives you a right to a fair trial, doesn't it? But when it comes to council tax liability orders, you get the thrilling experience of bulk justice, where hundreds of names are stamped in a courtroom faster than you can say due process. And let's not overlook Article 8, which promises respect for your private and family life, which is a lovely notion unless you owe £63.49, in which case expect a visit from a bailiff named Barry who knows more about your sofa than your partner does. And what about the Equality Act, I hear you shout, because nothing says equal like seizing a disabled person's TV. So under Section 20 of the Equality Act, a council are supposed to make reasonable adjustments for disabled people, but somehow reasonable often translates as you can have a payment plan before we send the enforcement agents. How inclusive. And of course we've got the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. Just a suggestion really. The United Nations says you shouldn't be arbitrarily deprived of your property, but when enforcement agents are waving paperwork like confetti and tell you they'll be taking your microwave to settle a tax from 2 years ago, let's just say arbitrary has been rebranded as community engagement. Let's hop into our legal time machine and look at ancient laws for modern problems. So here we've got Magna Carta 1215. No man shall be stripped of his possessions without judgment, unless you're liable for council tax, in which case, whoops. And then there's the Bill of Rights 1688. No taxes without Parliament's consent. Luckily, 650 highly accountable individuals, most of whom can't reach agreement on lunch, gave blanket permission for councils to bleed you dry. And they did that about 30 years ago. And then common law consent, you know, the quirky idea that you must actually agree to something to be bound by it. That's adorable, but apparently just existing in a house counts as contractual agreement. Who knew your mortgage or even your rent agreement came with a subscription service? Let's take a quick look at the magical, disappearing, the ever-elusive liability order, that golden ticket of tax enforcement, obtained in secret, in bulk, and almost never actually shown to the person being threatened with it. Indeed, I don't know anyone who has ever seen a true liability order, simply because they were removed from law in 2003 and they don't exist. But according to Regulation 35.3 of the Council Tax Administration and Enforcement Regulations, these orders are not actually ordered to be paid by the court. Yet every enforcement letter sounds like Judge Dredd rubber-stamped it himself. And case law precedents, legal cases that say no, but no one's listening. Remember Entick and Carrington 1765? That classic ruling that said you can't just barge into someone's home and take their stuff without lawful authority. Well, it's cute that we're used to believe in such things. And don't forget Regina versus Bow Street Magistrates ex parte Pinochet 1999, which reminds us that if a court's decision is influenced by bias, then it's void. So what do we call thousands of automated decisions made in a closed room without defendants? So it's easy to conclude democracy now with 99% more coercion, but don't worry, it's all fine. You voted for this, or someone did, or someone voted for someone who picked someone else who decided that your electricity bill wasn't painful enough, so here's another called council tax bill. Council tax, it's like Netflix for potholes. You're charged monthly, but the service never quite loads. So next time you open the brown envelope and see the numbers go up, just smile, remember your rights, and then promptly realise they don't apply to your postcode. Think it's lawful? Think again, then double check, then ask for the signed liability order. Join the movement, ask the questions, challenge the fiction. Subscribe for more brutally honest breakdowns of British bureaucratic nonsense. Till the next time, take care, keep well, stay strong. Toodle pip for now.